7 North, they have all kinds of imprints for different genres. And they're beginning to produce print books. And you want them to produce your print book because they will market it, Kindle it, bundle it, advertise it, and make you a good sum of money. However, it doesn't happen often. But what does happen is if your book does well, they know about it. And they will contact you for different little marketing things. Doesn't happen to everybody. You are, let's say you're the average author on the Kindle, you have to do your own work. They will not do it for you. Sometimes they'll, like they started advertising one of my books on Facebook at the side, and I didn't even know it until my son said, I just saw your book advertised, did you take that ad out? And I said, no. But it was, I think they targeted the Facebook pages of people who had bought my book already, and maybe they thought they would buy another one. So they do things like that, but you can't count on that as a way of selling your book. I've just found a miraculous way of getting a lot of sales, and I'm going to tell you about it. I've been into this for 18 months now. Amazon began something called Amazon Select, and it is a program that they have where Prime members of Amazon, people who don't pay for shipping and who buy, I think it costs $79 a year, and you have little perks. You can download movies or have movies streamed. They also allow you to borrow books for a month for free, 1 book a month for free. If you join the Select, Amazon allows you to 5 days where you can allow your book to go free. In other words, anybody can download it for nothing. And you would think, why would you want to do that? For some weird reason having to do with algorithms, I don't even know what algorithms are, but for some weird reason, if you put your book up for free, when it goes off free, it begins to sell like a son of a gun. And that has to do with the fact that there's some, I don't know why, I really don't. I don't know why it does, but it does. That doesn't happen in such bombastic terms every time. I mean, I had a book go free, and there were 21,000 downloads in 3 days. That was a miracle. I don't know how it happened. When it went off free, it raced up the charts to number 64 on the Kindle 100, which means out of over 1 million books, only 64 other books were selling better than mine. This happened before, not to that extent. And the sales continue. Now they do dwindle eventually. But with this ability to control and manage your free days, they allow you 5 free days per 3-month period. I have 7 titles. I sequentially let them go free. It doesn't always work, but it works often enough so that, you know, it's an exciting run. And you can make several $1,000s, which is amazing to me.
More than the advance.
More than
advance.
Oh, more than advance.
Would it make sense to have like a couple chapters go free and then people could... You
can do that, but when your book goes free, think of it this way. 21,000 people that would never have bought my book now know who I am, now know my other books. They might, when they finish that, buy my other books. It's like the best kind of advertising without spending a nickel. And then on the other end, you get all this money because all these people are buying your book. There are 2 things I think, the algorithms, whatever the hell an algorithm is. But the other thing is
birth control.
What they call, yeah, that's to do with birth control, right? The Catholic Church and the rhythm Methodism. The other thing is that it's called also boughts. Your book begins to show up on books that are really popular as those who bought this also bought this, and then you start selling that way. And then if your book continues to sell so nicely, then Amazon says, let's look at this, this book looks like it's selling, and that's good for us. Then they will do something, don't ask me what, but they'll put it on lists that go out to people who have bought that genre before, or they'll say the deal of the day or something. Now that hasn't happened to me. But one woman was the deal of the day and shot up to #1 that day. That day she shot up. You know how many books you have to sell to be #1 in Amazon? 7,000 books a day, like 1 book every second or 2 books every second.
Nick, would you ever, if your book is successful on Kindle,
Yes.
just for the situation you're talking about, would you ever, or are you allowed to take that book and let like a regular book publisher take it and put it on the market?
If I've made nothing else clear today, I want to tell you this. I don't want a regular publisher to go anywhere near my books because I'm having such a good time doing this, and I'm in control, and no one is making me wait a year or keeping royalty statements for twice a year. And then there were like 80,000 returns and only 2 books sold, and
they deducted the cost of
they deducted the cost of the returns, and you really owe them money, and you better just be damn grateful that they don't make you pay up from your advance.
Because this is the big
I'm
thing.
sorry. Are you a publisher? You're looking like no. I'm sorry.
I worked in publishing.
Oh,
I'm happy to hear you say that. I think that's
Oh
great.
my God.
That's a lovely attitude.
Are you being sarcastic?
No. No,
Well,
it's such a monopoly they have, and it's very...
The gatekeep. They're the gatekeepers.
Absolutely.
And if you don't meet the model, and where is that model from, I don't know. I mean, I was published 4 times really well. And I mean, as far as, really well, no. I was published 4 times. And the only happy day was the day they sold the book, and every other day was a misery. And as I said, they don't want to hear your pathetic questions. Is my book still out there? They don't want to hear, they wish it would just go away. So here you put all this effort, and there's an emotional groundswell when you finish a book, that you feel. And that groundswell is never met because they just want you to go away, basically. And if you have another book, maybe they'll look at it. So,
Did you have an agent while you were
I had a wonderful agent, the best agent in the world. She still is my agent. She loves that I'm publishing like this.
She doesn't mind that,
No,
there's no way for her to share
no.
in
And I would, if I ever have a movie sale out of all this, just definitely give it to her. I love her.
There's still libraries. There's still
I feel like
books,
mad woman saying all this in a library, but I'm trying to tell you the truth and trying to get you to go and do it. I mean, the printing press, this is bigger than the printing press, this new development. And you know what's wonderful, and I know you want to ask me a question, but I have to say this before I forget. There's a serendipity to doing things on the internet that you never know. I mean, one day you'll go to your thing and you sold 20 books in like 20 minutes, and you don't know why. You say, what happened here? And then Google will send you an alert sometimes, and it's because someone mentioned you or somebody loved your book and left a wonderful review or something. That's always a possibility. The possibility of something really nice happening is always there. I had published a monologue, a one-woman show, which had been done very small in Sanibel at Periwinkle Playhouse. You can imagine how I felt about that. and it was, I submitted it to Kindle Singles, which is an arm of Amazon where you have to submit the work and they either publish it or not. You can still publish it on the regular Kindle, but you have to be accepted to Kindle Singles. And the advantage there is that they reformat it for you and they market it for you. And it sold really well. They marketed it, they did everything, and I found a really crazy cover for it. If you go to my website, you'll see it. And the crazy cover, it's called Thinner Thighs in 30 Years. That was the name of the novel. Well, Thinner Thighs in 30 Years. So, a magazine called Fast Company. Now, I am the least likely candidate to be anywhere near anything called Fast Company. Because I live alone. I have a lot of kids and grandkids, but I live alone. The shades are always down at my house. And I am really a recluse almost. And then I get this call from Fast Company, and they want to do a little profile because of this, because I've published both traditionally and on the Kindle. So they sent a photographer out, and I had to find something to wear, which took about a week, And and they published it, and there I was in Fast Company. I mean, they didn't get any of the quotes right, and everything was screwy, but that's the serendipity of it. You are a good person, you're doing your best, you have something good to offer, you're going to share your thoughts and your recipes or your family history or whatever with the general public, and then a goodness comes around you that is not dependent on the traditional business model for you to succeed. And I find that, everyone's saying the world's going to hell and everything. It's just so uplifting. And this is exactly what has been my experience. I've made some wonderful friends, e-friends. I have e-friends. I have readers who love my work and write to me. And some who hate my work, really hate it. I had one woman say, about Thinner Thighs in 30 Years, she said, your husband should have left you long before he did.
Oh my God.
Well, my husband didn't leave me. We left each other. But, yeah, and you'd think I'd be upset about that. One woman wrote, this damn book fell off a cliff and I couldn't get it back. And I thought, I love that. I love that off-the-cuff remark. I wouldn't want every review to be that bad, but then other readers will come and defend me and say, no, you're wrong. One reader said, I can't imagine why there's such lackluster reviews for this book. Maybe it's because everyone is expecting a bodice ripper, and this is just really a good, sparkling, funny, witty book, and so you have your detractors and you have your savers, but it all evens out, and I like the serendipity of it.
Where does this conversation go on? On your blog or on Amazon?
No, these are reviews that anybody who buys a book on Amazon can review it, and the review shows there. And if you have 5-star reviews, which I have for some of my books, and someone leaves a 1-star review, then your average goes way down, and there's nothing you can do about it. If there's a review, there was a guy just hitting all the reviews, and you could tell he was mischievous. And several of us told Amazon, and they took it down. They take his review down and take him down.
Can I ask you a question? I realize you think that the Kindle is the future, or the variations of it. I don't know a single person who has one. And I just
I have one.
wonder whether it's, what?
I love it.
Well, that's why
My
I'm glad
husband
you're
reads
here.
it every night on his
But, no,
iPhone.
but is Kindle that much more attractive economically to you than regular publishing would?
No, if I get up off my lazy fat ass and go to create a space and instead of playing solitaire.
Would that be more profitable?
It could be, I guess, although they charge more. You charge more for a physical book. It might be, and one day maybe I will, but you know,
Well, there's ease, there's no question. Instantaneous ease or easy instantaneousness.
it's not, I mean,
Yeah, that
you
I
know,
see.
yeah, I should do it. I have 7 titles. I could have 7 more ways of selling. You know, the other thing I found is, forgive me, money is not very important to me. I'm not wealthy at all. I've lost tons of money in the stock market, and my house needs work. It's literally, parts of it need a lot of work. I just can't get excited about the money. I'm excited about the possibilities and the outlet. It excites me every day. And for someone who's retired or someone who doesn't have a job that they get a lot of joy from, this is such an enhancement to life. It's been such an enhancement. Blogging is not the least of it. I love blogging. I love shooting off my ideas, as you can see. And my blog, it's like a miracle to me. I can say anything I want on my blog. I mean, I don't want to say anything I want. I want to entertain. Now I feel a responsibility to my followers to give them something that is funny or uplifting or informative. But I don't like to use the word happy because I don't believe in happiness. I believe in being satisfied and having each day be okay. I like okay. I'm okay. I like okay.
Can I ask another question?
Please. I'm
Is
so
Amazon-
thrilled that you all came.
How long is Amazon going to keep all this stuff
Okay.
available, and have they hit you up for charges to go beyond a certain time or anything?
Amazon hasn't hit anybody up for anything. I have not spent one dime on this except for the 2 ads I took out initially when I was very new to the business, and they were $30 each. And they did okay, but I could have lived without them. Going free and waiting for the aftermath is much more.
So basically, you've loaded it into Amazon servers or whatever.
There is a place, if you go to their KDP,
Yeah.
self-publishing, they'll tell you all about it.
Right.
They'll tell you all about it. They are, I'm shocked, their latest report, they didn't make money this quarter. I was shocked because it's the way all my children, they have babies, they buy everything through Amazon. The diapers, that's the first go-to place. Why aren't they making money? So, yes, they're doing things that are a little bit naughty. If you're in their select program, which is advantageous, they don't let you go beyond any of the other e-readers.
So if you want to do, what was that, KCP self-publishing?
KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. If you Google Amazon, one of the choices is KDP. And he's making copies of all this stuff that I'm going to hand out to you. That has not only all that, but my email address. So you can see. My daughter said, now don't give out your email address.
I would like to go from people to Amazon and go to all the other.
If you Google Amazon, put Amazon in the Google
No,
search.
you as a.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, if you want to Google me, I have like 20,000 entries.
Contract that you can go to another.
No, if you Google me, you'll see all my stuff.
Well,
I'm a big.
what if Barnes and Noble so obsessed? They said no. because the authors, where I get it,
Uh-huh.
are keeping them, trying to make them sell, write a contract that they can't sell to any of the other others.
That's what Amazon just did, but only if you want to be in their select program. If you just want to publish the book and not be in the lending part, you can publish it anywhere else you want to. It's just if you want to be in their select program.
What's your opinion about that? Do you
Here's
want
my
to, or
opinion.
What's the trade?
Here's my opinion of it. I was not selling well on Barnes & Noble. I was not selling well. I was selling better on Sony. But I would say 90% of my sales come from Amazon. Do I like what they did? No, I don't. And as soon as, but it's all going to change. You know, even since I've been there, a year and a half that I've been there, it's different. The landscape is different. There are so many free books now because of this ability to manipulate the free periods. There's so many free books that sales are down a little bit for everybody. We talk about this on the Kindle boards at the Writers Cafe. We say, oh, how are your sales? Are your sales down for February? And then we always chime in. I mean, that forum is part of the fun of it. I mean, you get support, you know when the thing is down, you know when sales are down, you know how many Kindles were sold. You prepare for Christmas when there's a big rush of Kindles. Yes.
Is there an optimum time to put it up to, like, say,
You know,
prior to Christmas or something like that?
I started publishing in August. I didn't know anything, and around Christmas is a good time because sales. A lot of Kindles are given as presents, and people who give Kindles usually load them up.
Oh.
The books, and then the summer is good. February, it turns out, is bad, although it's been my banner month because of going free with daughters, and then it sold. I mean, it sold thousands of copies afterward.
Another question. You got your publishing rights back from your book publishers?
Yes, but long before. I had them back for about 5 years before I did.
Okay, but the copyright goes back to the original publication?
No, I have the copyright. It's all once.
Yeah, but the copyrights are about 27 years or something these days.
When you publish with a publisher and they give you your rights back,
Yeah.
it means your copyright. They're not. Well, your copyright is always yours. Even when you see a book, the place where your ISBN is and everything,
Right,
it says copyright Consuelo Baehr.
I understand, but
Yeah.
the thing is that's going to expire, and here you.
Oh, you mean when I'm still alive? I think you mean
Renew it.
Can't you renew it?
you can renew it. And I've left I need a will, by the way.
Well, I was getting to that. I mean, you and I both are.
Anybody
Over
here a
70.
lawyer who wants to trade will?
We're both over
stuff?
70, and let's
Yeah.
say I became wildly successful.
You are going to be,
I doubt it, but not in this time. But
yeah.
are your rights assignable to your heirs and so on?
That's a good question. I think that I'm assigning my literary, the proceeds from my. That's a good question. I
I'm
think
sure
they
you
must
can do
be.
it through a will.
They must be because
because
I have a friend who works for a company that does this. What I do privately, they do Open Road, and he had to go to. Let's see who did Pat Conroy and the daughter of. Oh God, I can't think of his name, but someone who lived out in Sag Harbor.
Zach, John Steinbeck.
Steinbeck too, but the other one who wrote Sophie's Choice.
Helen.
No,
Styron.
Styron.
Oh.
He had to go to his heirs to get the rights. So yes, of course they go to your literary properties go to your heirs. Yeah, because they went to all these. Now you can enhance your books too. I mean, they do videos with the author, and a lot of people on there really enhance the books with videos or extra material or music or whatever. I've done mine just simply. I'm sure that I could enhance the books. I probably could get maybe sell a few more books, but I'm tired, and I have limitations as far as my brain. And I'd rather, I do, and I'd rather spend the time blogging, doing my blog, or writing more, you know, and putting more. There's a guy, Dean Wesley Smith, he has a blog, and I think I put his name there. He says that quantity is your way to making money. And put up everything. If you have a book of short story, put up each short story on its own. Now the problem with that is you have to get a cover, and you have to do that. But if you're a little bit good with GIMP, which is free, or Photoshop, there's a cheap version of Photoshop, or you go to YouTube. YouTube tells you everything. If you don't know how to do something, YouTube will set you up.
What about titles? Coming up with the title for the book?
That
That has to be one of the hardest things.
what, for the book?
Yeah, or the story or
Think
whatever.
of a title that is you know, you have to be, you can't be up on your high horse. That's what I've learned in this e-business, because it's too, what do you call it when everyone, the whole world is alive? It's too, yeah, you can't be elitist. Don't worry about it. You know, you can put a hashtag like litfic if you're writing literary. I write what I consider literary fiction. It's very different from you know, chick lit or something that is all dialogue and has little fluffy dogs in it and everything. But nobody cares. You have to have a cover that really is attractive and attractive to people not like you. You have to think of people not like you, because we're all sane. We have, you know, we have a mindset. We have taste. We have we drink wine and everything. But you have to think of other people and get off the high horse, get down, and sell your books. So you have to have a cover like my good friend just changed the cover and put legs on it. Just big legs with nice shoes, and it's a police thing, and the handcuffs are in her handbag, and it's all, I mean, would we have done that years ago? I think not. I'm putting legs on every cover, I'm telling you. It's past the time where we want to be correct. We want to sell those suckers, you know. There's nothing more glamorous than getting a nice fat check through in your bank account and it says Amazon Digital Services. I say, okay, I'm there. I'm there. Now, I want to leave you with something that I've found things that information has seeped in, and I've taken advantage of it in the most peculiar way. I haven't gone systematically and done this and this and this and this, because that's not the kind of person I am. I'm a scattered person. I do things in a scattered way. So give yourself time to absorb. And as you read the posts, as you go onto these websites, and as you read some really smart people who are dying to give you all kinds of information, it slowly begins to build up in your system like a nice drug, and you learn, and you have all this knowledge, and it becomes part of you, and you use it, and you game the system. You know how to make the book go free, and you know how to tell all the sites that offer free books that you're going to go free, and they might or might not, you know, put your book up on their free sites, and if they do, it's great. And so you learn this. I waited for reviews. I didn't solicit reviews. There's a lot of authors that solicit reviews. They go to blogs that write reviews. They give away copies in hopes of a review. I waited for them to come in. Partly because I was lazy, and partly because I didn't trust I didn't want to do it the other way. I wanted just honest reviews from the public. So I've waited, now I have, each of my books has at least 10 or 11 reviews, which is a good number.
Can you delete any of them if you don't
No.
want? Okay.
And you get some brutal reviews. Because even if you go to Pride and Prejudice, everyone says that. When we go to the Writers Cafe and say, oh, boo-hoo, I got a 1-star review and it really is unfair, they all say the same thing. Go and look at Dickens' reviews, or go and look at Pride and Prejudice and see how many 1-star reviews it got. Because there are some dumb people who have Kindles. I mean, really dumb people who have Kindles. And they want comic book stuff, you know, not the comic books are great, but they want simplistic stuff. And they said, this is a boring book. And that cuts me. Maybe it is a boring book. You know, it could be a boring book, but so what? So what?
Just boring to some.
Yeah, boring to some people.
To some.
Nice to another. Look, email me. I want you all to do this. Whatever you have. If you have a thesis you wrote for college or something, and it's on a subject, offer it to the Kindle Singles. Go to Kindle Singles and say how to submit to Kindle Singles. That's a great program. They'll give you a lot of exposure. They don't accept everything, but if they do accept you, they will promote you, and you'll make money and get some branding out there.
Well, what do you have to be something short to be a Kindle?
No, it has to be at least 5,000 words, and I don't consider that short. But it has to be they describe it as a subject that is completely expressed in a short form. It can be up to, I think, 20,000 words. So it was a miracle that they accepted the monologue. He liked it. The guy who is the editor there used to be the editor for what is that? The Village Voice, I think. So, you know, David Blum. But you just submit it, and they either take it or not. So that's a good way to do it. And going free is a very good marketing maneuver. I call it a maneuver. Everything is a maneuver. And then blog. And blogging will make you a more facile writer. You know, I used to write copy for the Macy Corporation. I had to fit in like 80,000 ideas in like a 1-inch space. It made me a very conservative writer. And blogging makes you write well. And then if you get followers, you feel, boy, I better be good. I mean, you can tell I was brought up by the nuns because I have all these rules. I'm a convent school girl. But please call me. I want to see you all published on the Kindle. I want to buy your books. And if you find this good and you want to do it again at a later stage when you've started it, ask for it and I'll come back and talk to you. And I hope I've told you enough.
Thank you so much.